Okay, we've all been there, right? Your hair's looking great, you're feeling good, and then you grab your hairbrush. A few strokes later, poof. Frizz, static, a total mess. But what if I told you the problem isn't your hair? What if it's the brush itself? In this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain on the hidden damage lurking in your hairbrush and, more importantly, how to stop it.
This quote right here is from hair tool expert Ed Shears, and it's basically the light bulb moment for this whole topic. It's this idea that the real source of our hair problems isn't what we've always been told. It's not the coloring, it's not the fancy treatments, it's something we do every single day without a second thought.
I mean, does this sound familiar? You're using the exact same products you always have, but all of a sudden your hair is just unmanageable. It's frizzy, it's tangly, it looks kind of dull. You can even feel that extra little bit of drag when you brush, but you just figure, I'll just power through it.
So naturally, we blame everything else. It must be the shampoo, or maybe I need a new conditioner. Oh, it's probably just the humidity today. But what if the real enemy has been right there on your counter this whole time, hiding in plain sight? What if the very tool you trust to make your hair look good is secretly tearing it up? This brings us to the real villain of our story. It's a concept called cuticle fatigue. And trust me, this is the secret reason for all that mystery frizz and breakage we've been talking about. So what on earth is it? Well, think of your hair's outer layer, the cuticle, like shingles on a roof. Cuticle fatigue is the slow, gradual wearing down of those shingles. It's not one big catastrophic event. It's caused by tiny moments of friction and stress, over and over, day after day, all from using the wrong tool. And that's exactly why this is so sneaky. Your brush doesn't just dramatically snap your hair in half one day. No, it ruins it slowly, quietly, gradually. And because it's so gradual, you don't really notice it's happening until one day you look in the mirror and realize the damage is everywhere. This really puts it all into perspective. The old way of thinking is, oh, my hair is frizzy, I need to buy a better hair mask or a fancier serum. But the new view, the one we're talking about today, is totally different. It says, wait a minute, this frizz is a tool problem. My brush is the source of the damage, and no amount of conditioning can fix bad engineering. All right, so if the tool's the problem, what actually makes a brush bad? Let me tell you, it has almost nothing to do with the brand name on the handle or how much it cost. It is all about the engineering. Let's dig into the design flaws that are probably in a brush you own right now.
So here are some of the biggest offenders. You've got stiff, rigid pins that don't flex. If you have fine hair, those are just asking for micro tears. Then you have the opposite problem, bristles that are way too soft for thick hair. That makes you brush the same spot over and over and over again, creating a ton of friction. And don't even get me started on badly spaced bristles. They basically create these little snag points that just yank and stress the same hairs every time.
You can literally feel the difference. A well-designed brush just disappears. It glides through your hair and you barely even notice it's there. It's smooth, it's effortless, but a poorly designed brush, it demands your attention. You feel it snag, you can hear it pull. It feels like you're in a fight with your own hair.
This is such a great rule of thumb. Just think about it. The best tools, whether in the kitchen or the garage, are the ones you forget you're even using. So if you are constantly aware of your brush, if you're thinking about how it's pulling or snagging, that is a huge red flag that its design is off.
Okay, so we know what's bad. So what's the solution? Well, it's not about finding that one perfect magical brush that does everything. The real answer is to use the right tool for the right job. And that brings us to something called the 3-brush rule.
This is so important. The idea of a universal one-size-fits-all hairbrush is a total myth, and honestly, believing in it is a recipe for damage. Using a brush designed for heat styling to detangle your wet hair is like trying to use a screwdriver to hammer a nail. It's just not going to work well.
So instead, we need to think like a professional and assign roles. As you can see here, it's pretty simple. First, you need a detangling brush, something with really flexible bristles. They can gently work through knots without ripping them. Second, for making dry hair look polished and smooth, a good paddle brush is your best friend. And third, if you're using heat, you absolutely need a dedicated thermal brush that's built to handle high temperatures. 3 jobs, 3 different tools.
So even if you have the perfect detangling brush, there's one massive mistake that almost everyone makes, and it could be causing a ton of unnecessary breakage. Are you doing it?
The number one mistake is starting at the roots and just yanking the brush straight down. No. The right way to do it is to start at the ends. Gently work out any tangles there, then move up your hair a couple of inches and do it again. You work your way up to the roots in these small, manageable sections. This way, you're not dragging a tiny knot down the entire length of your hair, turning it into one giant, damaging mess.
So when you put all of this together, it's about more than just buying a few new brushes. It's about a completely new mindset. It's a shift towards maintenance and protecting your hair before the damage even has a chance to start.
Of course, even the best, most perfectly engineered brush on the planet isn't going to last forever. It wears out, it gets old. And an old, worn-out brush can start causing damage. So how can you tell when it's time to say goodbye?
Well, here's a quick checklist for you. If the bristles are all bent and wonky, or if those little protective balls on the tips have come off and the pins feel sharp, it's done. If it starts snagging in spots where it used to just glide, it's time. And a really obvious one, if it's so packed with old hair and product buildup that you just can't get it clean anymore, you need a new.
And this right here is the core of that new mindset. We have to stop thinking of a good brush as some kind of fancy luxury item. It's not. It is a fundamental piece of daily maintenance. It's the thing that is quietly, consistently protecting your hair from cuticle fatigue before it even starts.
So let's bring this all home. The hidden damage in your hairbrush is a very real thing, but the good news is it's totally preventable. If you understand what cuticle fatigue is, you use the 3-brush rule to pick the right tools, and you use the right technique, you can keep your hair so much healthier. So the next time you're having a bad hair day, don't just reach for another product, go take a hard look at your brush. It might be telling you everything you need to know. Because in the end, it all comes down to this simple, powerful truth. It doesn't matter how fancy or expensive your conditioners and hair masks are, you simply cannot condition your way out of the daily mechanical damage caused by a badly engineered tool. Start with the tool, and everything else will fall into place.